Hello and welcome back to the Spin and Rock podcast. I'm your host, Angel, and with me today are my co-hosts.
Eugene?
And Vaughn.
Right when we thought we were in the dead days of the NBA offseason, two bombs have hit the towers. We have D Rose retiring. Probably something that none of us expected. I remember I woke up that random ass weekday morning. It's like 7 in the morning. I see that D Rose has officially retired from the game of basketball. How does this make you guys feel?
Come on, bro. D Rose retiring. Like no one was waiting for this day to happen. We were all delaying it, pushing it back if we could. I think it's best that it did take us by surprise like this. Because like if you prep for it, I think it just feels a little more sadder considering who the player is. But at least from the way he's phrased it in his post, he sounds like he's looking forward to like taking that step away from basketball. So I can really only be glad about that.
Mm.
Yeah, like I remember, kind of the same as Angel waking up and seeing that. But I also saw, I think this was pre Woj retiring. Woj made a tweet saying that he got waived from the Grizzlies. So I was like, okay, on to another team. Woj retires, and then D Rose back to back. You know what I mean? Like the week after, and it was a shock. But at the same time, I really feel like it was a long time coming. You know what I mean? Like once he stepped foot in a Pacers uniform, I was like, oh yeah, his career's done. Or not Pacers, sorry, Pistons. Um, I was like, his career's done. But he's had an amazing career nonetheless. Youngest MVP ever, couple or a few FIBA championships, two-time gold medalist. So I'm sure he has nothing to complain about.
Yeah, I think what's crazy for me is I thought it was fake at first because like no one because I saw it happen so early in the morning that like no one was talking about it. So at first I was like, oh, this is like fake. And then like as the day went on, it like finally hit everyone else. Like everyone else started to wake up and like see what happened. And then I saw the official statement. It was just wild. Like I was kind of on like what Eugene said. Like I saw that he got waived, but I didn't expect him to retire. Low key, I just expected him to go to like another contending team to be like a leading vet locker room guy. But I guess that's not what he wanted, which like makes sense. But like it's still kind of crazy. I think what sucks the most is we never got to see that D Rose John Morant duo that like everyone wanted to see. And I feel like he
Mhm.
would have been a great locker room guy in for the Grizzlies since they're all so young. But we didn't get that, unfortunately.
Yeah, like Vince Carter, obviously, like I would say probably more years of him being more of a role player or just a even presence in the locker room. Like I could have foreseen D Rose going down that route because he does seem like a positive influence. But not everyone probably seeks that out. Like Vince Carter would still be playing today if he could. But and as much as I would have liked to have seen D Rose do that, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. And, along with getting older and becoming more prone to injuries, and, we all know his backstory on his injuries. So it's like, it's even more of a risk um, than it is normally for, older players. But yeah, I think it was a good move. And I'm kind of glad, kind of like what Vaughn said, like that he didn't announce it and then play another season. Like a D Rose farewell tour. Like although he doesn't have any haters, I don't know how well that would have been. You know what I mean?
Mhm. All right. And then next, Another big announcement that I don't like. Again, no one saw coming. Karl Anthony Towns was traded to the Knicks for Julius Randle and I think DiVincenzo, and that was
Mhm.
it.
First
No
round
pick.
pick from the
Okay.
Detroit Pistons, I think.
What do you guys think about this? How do you feel about the news? Good trade, bad trade, winner, loser.
I hate the trade. I hate this because I wanted to see both these teams uh as they were before the trade, at least see a glimpse of that in the season. And if you had to trade later down the line, because we didn't even get to see, the Villanova group fully reunited. And then Western Conference run for the Timberwolves with Cat there. I would have just liked to see them run it back, especially with the new rookie at point guard who's supposed to be like the replacement for Mike Conley. That would have been nice. I think I'm less excited for both of these teams now, I would say.
This is the downfall, the beginning of the end for the Timberwolves. Cat was their last, like OG piece from that whole era when they were rebuilding. So to see the Wolves not kind of backstab Cat like that, it doesn't make any sense. Especially when they were running that Twin Tower lineup with Cat and Rudy. Why they didn't trade Rudy? I'm sure, at least fan wise, they would have wanted Rudy to get traded rather than Cat. You know what I mean? But Cat, he loved Minnesota, loved his teammates. You could tell on and off the court. I have no idea why this trade was even a thing, to be honest. Like it doesn't make sense really for either team. Who won the trade? I would obviously probably say the Knicks, because you still got Mitchell Robinson, who's more of a defensive player. So Cat can still focus on his offensive game as well as defense, of course. But I don't know how Randall and DiVincenzo are gonna even fit in Minnesota.
Right, because Cat is the best 3-point shooting big man ever, statistically. And then
Mhm.
you're sliding Julius Randle, who struggles with the 3-point shot, right next to Rudy Gobert, who no spacing. So it's just making it hard not only for him, but for Anthony Edwards to get to the rim too. So that sucks. And then DiVincenzo reportedly wasn't going to be satisfied with his role coming off the bench now that Mikal Bridges would have been starting. But he's probably going to be coming off the bench on the Timberwolves, I would imagine, unless he plays point guard at some point. But he's not traditionally, at least his time in the NBA, not a true point guard, So it just feels like everyone going to the Timberwolves is losing. The Timberwolves are losing. I just really hate this
Right.
trade.
I feel
That's
like
why I was like, it's really the beginning of the end. You know what I mean? Like they're just gonna fall back into their rebuilding ways.
the Timberwolves too are also Timberwolves. I feel like the Knicks also are like gonna start to spiral here in a second too, bro. Because like they're getting rid of pieces like as you can see behind me. This is their roster from 2020, 2021. The only person who's still there is Mitchell Robinson, bro. Like Trae Young, started the dismantle of this team, and I feel like the Knicks had a really good, solid team, even without even if you say like Julius Randle, like he's not the greatest, he can be mid sometimes, but still, bro, like adding Cat into there, I feel like is not really gonna help them. They're not gonna be worse by any means. But it's not gonna be. It's not that missing piece, bro. No one was thinking. You know what we need? We need like Karl Anthony Towns on the Knicks. Like no one was thinking that, bro. Like he
Right.
wasn't really the missing piece. Mitchell Robinson was a solid center for them.
Mhm.
So like I don't know why they went out and got like another one unless they're gonna do the Twin Tower thing, which is like I think it could work. Like I can definitely see it working. But at the same time, it's just like kind of like out of all the things you could have done to upgraded your team, getting Cat was probably the one that like no one thought needed to happen. Like I don't think anyone said like we need a big. Like I don't think any Nick fan was saying like please get a big. Like no one was thinking that, bro.
Yeah, I think
Right.
the worry was Mitchell Robinson is injury prone, no matter how good of a defensive player he is. But like, Cat is not a defensive player, you know.
And
And
Cat's
you
also
just
injury prone.
Right.
yeah, somewhat, yeah. And then like thinking the coach Tibbs loves defense. I mean, you're gonna be paying Karl-Anthony Towns probably to sit on the bench in certain points just because Tibbs would prefer Robinson's defense over Cat. You know, I can see that happening, especially come playoff time. So it really just doesn't help their needs whatsoever.
Yeah, and like you look at the
I get
Timberwolves, like Cat was guarding Jokic. He wasn't like Jokic one of those players where you can't stop, but like in that final game, Cat was one of the reasons why the Timberwolves won that series. He was low key like making it hard for Jokic. Like Jokic was like out of breath in the fourth quarter, like huffing and puffing.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that man
it's
was
also
tired.
they had like 3 centers to throw at him, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it was just a combination of so much to just wear him down.
And now you get rid of that for Julius Randle, bro.
No, like, so much momentum for the Timberwolves, and you just, like, cut it off.
No, for real. The real question is Cat staying on the Knicks, bro?
depending on how they do, I think so. But I'll also give it by not this coming season, but either the season after or in 2 seasons where we start to see the Knicks downfall as well.
I could totally see. Well, I know New York is probably gonna welcome him with open arms, I feel like, the fan base, because the prospect of a three-point shooting big, very exciting. Come playoff time, if he's hitting big shots like he was, you know, in the Nuggets series, MSG is gonna go crazy.
True.
But looking on the bright side for the Timberwolves, at least, I'm excited to see Naz Reid paired up with Julius Randle. I think those two would work together really well. I'm just trying not to think about Rudy Gobert right now. You know, that it's just a mess down there.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's trying to think of Rudy Gobert, to be honest. All right, anything else? All right, today's main topic is a ranking of the best players going into this 24-25 season. We did 25 players. We each have 25 players on our list. Today's hot seat question, though, is who was your guy who you really wanted to put on there, and he's basically your 26? I know we all have one, a guy you wanted to make 25, but you just couldn't bring yourself to do it.
Mine was De'Aaron Fox. I wanted him to be up there so badly, but it's kind of like the situation in the West where there's so many good guards. It's like picking top 25. There's already a lot of great guards, but he just got beat out for me.
Loki, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. The last 10 was so hard to pick for me, like in order.
Mm-hmm.
26. I mean, I kind of have 2 people tied for 25. But if I'm gonna leave one off, I'll say Tyrese Maxey. He's almost there, but I don't think he's quite there yet. But he's tied for 25. But for the sake of the question, I'll put him 26.
Okay. Mine was also mine's like a guy that I openly love, but like I couldn't put him on there. I put Dame was my 26, bro. I did not have Dame this time. I just think last season I couldn't justify him. So All right. I feel like now is the time. So give me how about we start with you, Eugene? You're 25 to 21.
I bet. So my 20, you want me to say like 25 is this, 24 is this, or just list the names?
You can go 25 is this, 25, you know.
All right. So 26, honorable mention, Tyrese Maxey. 25, I put Zion. 24, I put Bam. 23, I did put Dame because I still think he's up there. 22, I put Jimmy Butler. And then 21, I put Paul George.
Wanna go? That's fun.
Okay. At 25, I got Damian Lillard. 24, Trey Young. 23, Bam Adebayo. 22, Tyrese Maxey. And 21, Victor Wembanyama.
Ooh. Okay. 25, I put Paolo. 24, I put Maxey. 23, I put Fox. 22, I put Irving. And 21, I put Sabonis. All
Bro,
right.
you did not say Paolo, bro.
Bro,
You did
Paolo
not
was
say
one of the main
Paolo,
reasons
bro.
why Magic went to the playoffs, bro. What are you talking about?
Okay, but we're talking top 25 players in the league, bro.
I know. I'm putting Paolo on there, bro. I honestly think like he is literally the Magic right now.
Well, I mean, me personally, I didn't put Paolo or Wemby on my list, so I found those as a lot of people will put Wemby just because he's Wemby, but at least me personally, I just need to see a little bit more, at least in the second year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like you can't be a top 25 player your first season in the league. Like to me, that just doesn't make sense. I'm not saying he can't be, but I would like to see more more from Wemby. And I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about Paolo.
Bro,
I
hold
was
on.
just I was just crazy.
A lot of my considerations was like going into next season, who's going to be that guy? Like,
Yeah.
that's why Wemby is so high up here.
Gotcha.
Like, I tried to fight this thought. It felt like an intrusive thought. I didn't want to put him here, but I'm like, he scored 21 and had 10 rebounds and was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate his rookie year. And now he's got Chris Paul, a guy who's actually going to pass him the ball. Yeah, bro. He's got the green light all day long. I gotta put him up there.
Hold on. I low-key forgot that I did not put John Moran on my list. I low-key forgot about John Moran.
GG's.
Okay. I'm gonna have to. I know where I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna have to bump everyone I just said down one. So Paolo's no longer on there.
Okay.
And there we go.
So Maxey's 25. Sabonis is 24. Oh, not Sabonis. Fuck, dude. Who was my 21? Oh, Irving. So instead of Irving being 21, Jamal Murray's my 21. And I won't say where I'm putting John Morant. But yeah, Paolo's no longer on my list. I forgot about that man, low key. And then I was like looking at Eugene talking, and I was like, oh shit. I did not put John Morant on my list. So yeah, okay. See,
right,
so I'm clearly not beating the Dame hater allegations, bro, because I'm the only one who didn't have him on my list.
I mean, I almost didn't have him on my list,
Right. Like it's not because you put him at 25, right, Vaughn?
Yeah.
And then I put him at 23. So it's like I can respect that you didn't, you know what I mean? But at least for me, he has been one of my favorite players for a while now. And although his role has diminished, on the Bucks, I still think, obviously he provides like a certain value to the team, but I feel like he can still perform like he did on the Blazers. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Although he has a, you know, arguable top 3 player teammate
Yeah.
on his team.
I think one part is like you look at last season. It wasn't his greatest of seasons, but it was still very good, like all-star caliber, easy.
Yeah.
And now he's got continuity. He's not starting fresh in a new place. Like he was in Portland forever and transitioning to Milwaukee, a whole different thing. And now it's just like you're not starting from zero. You're already with the ball rolling, So I don't think he has to adjust to anything. I think he just settles, and that would be best for him, especially as a aging player.
Yeah. All right. Let's do then 20 to 16.
Yeah.
All right, bet. So my 20 may or may not come as a shock, but I put Kawhi there. At 19, I put Sabonis. At 18, I put Kyrie. At 17, I put Tyrese Halliburton. You said 16?
Yeah.
And then 16 would be or is Donovan Mitchell.
So for my 20, I got Tyrese Halliburton. 19, Jaylen Brown. 18, Kyrie Irving. 17, Jimmy Butler. And then 16, Domantas Sabonis.
So for me, I got 20. I got Bam. 19, I got Hallie. 18, I got Butler. 17, I got Ja. And then 16, I got Drew Holiday. Okay. Another one that I didn't have on my list. Kawhi's not on my list at all, bro. I think playing time is a big factor, and this man just does not play the game of basketball. Like, he's always injured. Like, I want to put him on my list. Like, he would be on my list, but like, I just feel like if he's not someone I can like be like, oh yeah, he's gonna play 80 blah blah games. Like, no, bro, he's literally probably gonna play max 50, 60 games a season, and I just can't consider that top 25 material.
Also, going into this season, he just had, I think, knee surgery. So he won't even be there for the beginning of the year. I don't know how long. I don't know what that timetable looks like. But this is like a reoccurring knee issue, it feels like. And I think it's already kind of affecting his defense. Because Clippers' Kawhi defense has not been to the reputation that Kawhi holds, but he's still respected as a defender. But he's getting so much older. This is not going to get any better. So it's just going to I think we're on his downward slope, I would say. So that was my reason. Like, I didn't forget about him. I considered him, but I'm like, I deliberately left him off.
I really wanted to. If you were telling me guaranteed he's going to play like 75 games a season, I would have put him on my list and I would have had him pretty high. But like, bro, that man, you just never know with him.
Right. I mean, for me, I just put him on my list because I feel like he's too good of a player to leave out.
That makes sense.
When he's on the court, like he actually produces both on defense and offense. He basically does everything for the Clippers, even when Paul George was there. So, I just feel like he's too valuable of a player, especially on that team, because without him, it's Harden, and who knows how much he's going to do this season, which, mind you, I didn't even put on my list. But, yeah, I feel like Kawhi has been that team essentially since he's got there. So that was the only reason why I put him on my list.
Makes sense.
I also predict Clippers are like borderline playing team if they get in at all. So I'm like, that might be a factor I thought of too.
That's true. I was gonna ask you, Ron, why'd you put Brown so low?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was surprised.
Because a lot of these guys, I'm thinking like the number one go ahead option, and he shares that with Jason Tatum.
Mm.
So there's that, and then I wanted to put him over Kyrie, but I feel like Kyrie just has more responsibility for the offense because if it's not Luka, he has to do playmaking. He has to make sure the ball finds the right areas, and then of course scoring. Getting the hard buckets. Whereas Jaylen Brown is allowed to play off ball more so and concentrate more on defense. He's got the energy to do that. But yeah, that's where I put him at 19.
Interesting. I mean, just to obviously you're not gonna like change your mind, but just to put into perspective, Jaylen Brown being a shooting guard and Kyrie being a true point guard, they have different play styles. And then, with the Mavs having what they have and the Celtics having the best all-around team in the league right now, it just what am I trying to say? Like it
Balances out,
I don't
equals
even,
out.
some shit like that. I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to say anymore, but like they just have like different roles, that they're supposed to play. So
Yeah. Like a big part of it was I don't think Kyrie can have a bad night and the Mavericks are successful. Jaylen Brown is afforded to have bad nights, and the Celtics will probably win a lot more than not.
Interesting. And then say your list again, real quick, Angel. I don't remember if I had a thought on it.
I said Bam at 20, Halliburton at 19, Butler at 18, Ja at 17, and I had Drew Holiday at 16.
Drew Holiday.
Drew.
I didn't expect him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I left Drew out, not because he's like a bad player or anything, but I feel like take this very, very lightly. I don't think he has, at least with all the players on my list, as big of a role on the team as the rest of the players I have on my list. That was the only reason why I left him out.
That makes sense. I get that, but I'm like I'm on like the bandwagon of that Drew Holiday is vastly underrated. And so like I saw this as my opportunity to finally give him his credit. Like that man, like yeah, the Celtics would still be good without him, but like to be on a team with Brown, Tatum, Horford, and still be a vital piece, like still be like a defensive anchor at times, and like really just shine is like you gotta respect that. Like the fact that he was on the Bucks and like at times he was as important as Giannis, and I feel like that takes a kind of different level of talent to be able to do, because he could have definitely been a Chris Middleton type and like be number 2, but only in one aspect where he was at times like it seemed like, yeah, we need Holiday to do his things. So that's why I have him so high. Plus, I left out a lot of people too. People that like I left out Kawhi, I left out Dame. I left out Paul George. So
I would have loved to have Drew on here on my list. I just, as much as I love him, like I'm so glad he's on my team. There's really no other guard that does what he does at the level he does. But I think it's the most important factor is like what he sacrifices for the sake of the team. And I think that probably just affects my perception of him against some of the other players I got on this list.
That makes sense. No, I get why you guys like. I understand for sure. Like I just like I think I'm just a little too much on the Holiday train at times.
Can't blame you, bro.
All right, let's do 15 to 11.
All right. My 15, I put Anthony Davis. 14, I put John Morant. 13 will probably be a shock to both of you guys. I put Jalen Brunson. 12, I put Devin Booker. And then 11, I put Jason Tatum.
So at my 15, I got Jalen Brunson. At 14, John Morant. 13, Devin Booker. 12, Donovan Mitchell. 11, Anthony Davis.
So okay. So me for 15, I put Mitchell. 14, I put Booker. 13, I put Jalen Brown. 12, I put Embiid. 11, I put Anthony Davis.
All right, you're going to have to explain that Embiid one.
I'm an Embiid hater, bro. I am an Embiid hater. And that's not my Nuggets bias. I just think, bro, if you're constantly injured, never making it past the second round, like always floundering in the playoffs, like I get why so many people are high on Embiid, but at the same time, bro, I think AD is better than him. I'm not gonna name more, but I just feel like there's a lot more bigs who can like just do what he does, but better and succeed more than just box score.
Okay. Do you think at any point in his career, AD should have been MVP?
Oh, bro, for sure. There were times where on the Pelicans he was looking like he was gonna be a future MVP candidate, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
There's a difference between the MVP and a future MVP candidate.
Bro, I honestly believe that if AD also wasn't like made out of glass, like everyone thought when he went to the Lakers, an MVP was in his future, bro. Like, let's be honest now.
Okay, but he's also on a team with LeBron, bro. You're not winning MVP when you're on a team with LeBron.
Bro, what? Okay, this is old man LeBron. Like, what do you mean? Like, he definitely could have. Like, the whole point of him going to the Lakers is so LeBron didn't have to be the main guy.
Yeah, but he ended up being the main guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I think AD is better than Embiid, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. And I'm a Lakers fan. I think this is just your Embiid hater fucking going crazy right now, bro.
No, I am an Embiid hater, bro. I'm not gonna dodge those allegations. I am some loud and proud Embiid hater.
I mean, our lists are pretty similar. Surprising.
Yeah. Like we had Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell pretty close together. I think it's probably because like they're both contending for top shooting guard in the league. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And we had
Jalen,
Jaws. Our Jaws pretty close as well.
Jaws. Jalen Brunson was in this area too. Yeah. Other than that, I don't have anything to contend with, y'all.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask you why you had AD so low, but you kind of, I feel like us talking about why I have Embiid underneath AD kind of answered why you had AD as your 15.
15? Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I love AD. I will always love AD. But, you know, with being injury prone, not playing his role the way he's supposed to be playing it, it's kind of a mixture of a bunch of things.
Mm-hmm.
But at least when I think of top big in the league, you know, it's like Jokic, Embiid, and then AD. But then who's better than AD, which is obviously what we're going to talk about going forward. But AD, spectacular player, should have been Depoy, all that great stuff. But definitely. I think he could be better on top of being injury prone. But yeah, I feel like 15 is a solid place for me anyway in my list.
All right. Should we go into 10 to 6?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, at my 10, I put Jaylen Brown. At 9, I put SGA. 8, I put Ant. It was very close, and I feel like they're interchangeable, Ant and SGA. 7, Kevin Durant. And then 6, I put Joel Embiid.
For me, at 10, I had Kevin Durant. 9, I had Anthony Edwards. 8, Jason Tatum. 7, Steph Curry. 6, LeBron James.
So 10, I had Brunson. 9, I had Ant. 8, I had LeBron. 7, I had Tatum. And then 6, I have Kevin Durant.
Oh, Brunson at 10?
That's high.
Bro, like
That's really high.
All right.
He was a big factor on the Knicks, bro. Like, I feel like he kind of proves himself more and more every year. And I feel like, well, to be honest, I made this list before the Knicks trade. And so I thought, like, I honestly thought, like, the Knicks were going to be, like, even more, like, tight-knit and, like, have even more chemistry. And so I thought Brunson was going to be even better again, because that's just what it's been. He just keeps getting better year and year. So that's my thinking, is that, like, this year he solidifies himself as a top 10 player. Now with the trade, I don't know about that anymore. Now with the trade, I feel like it's going to be some rough patches for just all of the Knicks in general.
I'm just thinking you have Jalen Brunson over Joel Embiid, even considering like the injury history of Embiid. Jalen Brunson over Embiid?
Yeah, bro. Made it just as far as Embiid in playoffs. Makes it just as far and does better in them.
I don't know. I can't place Jalen top 10 in the league, bro. Yes, I will agree with your point. Since his last year on the Mavs, he's gotten better every year since then. But top 10, bro. That you're
Also,
basically saying he's one of the faces of the league. That's where we're getting to now.
When you're the face of the Knicks, you are one of the faces of the league, bro. Like, that's kind of how it goes, bro. When you're the face of the Knicks, you're basically one of the faces of the league.
I don't think his name is up there with like a LeBron, a Steph, a KD, you know?
Right.
I just don't see it. Also, like, Jalen Brunson is very good, but like, what is there else that he can get better at? You know, I feel like this is his best. It'll probably continue being this moving forward for the next few years. So what can he even do better at this point?
His defense can get better. His efficiency can get better. He can be a better playmaker in general. Like he can get better in a lot of ways. That's what I'm saying. Is that, like, I feel like right now he's like probably not top 10, but again, before the Knicks trade, I thought going into the year he would solidify himself as being top 10.
So do you think at any point in the rest of his career he will be in your top 5?
Top 5 is a hard one to crack, bro.
I feel like top 10's hard to crack, bro.
Yeah, I guess anyone's in top 10 these days.
I feel like, no, but I feel like top 10 always changes, bro. Because, like, let's be honest, did we have, like, and SGA, like, Tatum, all one point were not top 10 in the league. Like, people in the top 10 are constantly changing. For me, I think top 5 is, like, the one that, like, is basically solidified for a long time. But I feel like top 10 is always changing, bro.
I feel like Tatum arguably could be top 10. You know, well, maybe not arguably, but he wasn't in my top 10. I put him at 11. But I feel like Ant and SGA as of recently. You know, Ant's FIBA run kind of sparked that, and SGA's recent Thunder years have, you know, sparked that as well.
Yeah, I feel like the top 10 is always changing, bro. I feel like top 5 is the one that like is pretty solidified for years at a time.
Okay, so then do you think Jalen Brunson at any point in his career could potentially get in the top 5?
Maybe if
I
he
don't
leaves
think
the
so, bro.
Knicks, maybe. But I feel like if anything for me, Jalen Brunson is consistently gonna be in and out of the top 10 conversation.
Really?
I feel like he's gonna be weaving in and out of it for a long time.
I think that's a hot take, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Like, he has the market behind him. They had success last year. I think. No, I can't even like trick myself into this.
Right. What was your list, Vaughn, again? I don't know if there was any talking points.
KD, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Steph Curry, LeBron James.
Yeah, Katie and Ant, I feel like, because I put them at 7 and 8, I feel like, honestly, they're interchangeable, at this point, which is crazy to say. But I'm sure we can all agree that, no matter where we put them, they're probably right beside each other,
Yeah.
Not far off. I just gave the edge to Ant for the playoffs. That was so fun to watch. Also just to consider, I asked myself, would I take KD for 1 year or Anthony Edwards for 1 year? And asking that today, I would take Ant for 1 year if that's all I had.
That makes sense. All right,
Are we ready
5-1.
for top 5? Okay.
All right, top 5. I'm sure we all have the same players. Actually, no. 5 is Luka. 4 is Steph. 3 is Jokic. 2 is Giannis. And number 1 is LeBron James.
Yeah, mine's different for sure. 5 is Joel Embiid. 4 is Giannis. 3 is SGA. 2 is Luka. 1 is Jokic.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better because I have 5 SGA, 4 Curry, 3 Giannis, 2 Luka, and 1 Jokic.
Bro, LeBron's 40 years old, bro. I don't care what y'all say. He's 40 years old playing in the NBA, bro. You're not supposed to do
I
that.
was laughing
Y'all
because
can
I
say
didn't
whatever
realize.
y'all want, bro. LeBron has been the best player in the NBA for the longest time. They just don't want to give him MVP anymore.
I was only laughing not because you said LeBron was number 1, because I was laughing because I didn't notice that you didn't say him when we did 10 through 6. So I was like, oh, who's his number 1 then? And then you said LeBron, and I was like, how did I miss you not saying him when you said 10 to 6? Like, I thought that was something we all had in common, is that we said like LeBron in that middle area. That's crazy.
I mean, like, I can understand why people put him there. Obviously, age plays probably the biggest role in why we place LeBron wherever we place him. But, like, we've never seen this before. And we probably won't for
Ever.
a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he's breaking all these. Right, exactly. Like, he's breaking all these records that we probably maybe will never see broken, That's also why I kind of put Steph at 4 as well. Like, they're both old as dirt right now. Still currently breaking records that, we didn't think we were going to see broken or didn't even know that there was a record to break. You know what I mean? So I feel like, at least for me, I'm still giving flowers to them just because they're doing so many great things, even at their fine wine age.
Yeah. I'm I agree with you with Curry because we had him at the exact same spot. So that's why I didn't want to ask Vaughn this until we got here. I was very surprised that you had Curry at 7, bro. Considering he was the reason why the Warriors still had a chance at like at least a playoff like series.
I don't know. 7 isn't that far low. He's right below. I put LeBron James. I think top 5 are the people who are going to be fighting for an MVP this year. I
Mm,
don't think Steph is going to be in that running. Bro,
okay,
his
okay.
his team
But
is
he's
gonna
not going to be
dog
in that
shit.
running because he's got 3.
He does have 3. That's true. But if we're going into like who's gonna be the best this season, I gotta throw Steph just a little bit lower beneath some of these guys. You know, like
Right.
Gotcha.
the
I will
best.
say SGA at 3 is interesting though.
Oh,
Bro,
bro.
I felt so relieved because I thought I was gonna get flamed for having him at 5.
No, like I thought 2 years ago, SGA was like an unbelievable like player. Last year, he somehow improved, and it
Yeah.
really showed on the Thunder's overall team record.
Mhm.
If I'm being honest, the MVP is either going to go to Luka or Shea this year. Like, not only does Shea get it done, like scoring, like very efficient scoring, but like the defensive side of the ball is also so important. I think people forget that part almost.
Mhm.
Like a big part of the Thunder defense is because Shea is so much of a pest to the other team. Like whoever's handling the ball, like it's not safe ever. It helps that he's got other good defenders on the Thunder, but I really hope it's Shea that gets the MVP this year.
I don't
Yeah,
disagree with your top 2 MVP candidates being Luka and SGA, barring injuries, of course. But Luka may or may not have the slight edge, I think, with the addition of Klay Thompson. I think his assist numbers will probably be a little bit higher because, with them spacing the floor, it'll just create
I
mania.
I would agree with you. I think we're looking at the league. Luka will be the favorite, especially coming off a finals run. Like he has
Mhm.
all this playoff recognition, and this is the furthest he's gone last year. Like the expectation will be high, and he won't shy away from it. He'll probably embrace it, you know. So I
Mhm.
can definitely see Luka hoisting that MVP at the end of the year.
Wait, so where did you put Jokic? You put him
Jokic is
1?
one. Jokic will
Okay.
not get the
All right.
MVP. It's too much
Who is
fatigue for the MVP.
right?
But I think he's gonna be like the best. Like he's so hard to counter. Um, like
Well,
it
you
took
can't.
in the yeah, right. Like it took 3 centers on the Timberwolves, like hardcore defense, all like the best they've ever played, just to slow him down. Like who does that, bro? Like this is not your prototypical NBA. He doesn't even look like an athlete.
Mhm.
It's just so bizarre. So like, with all that being said, like yeah, I got him at 1.
And who was your 2? Luca?
2 was Luka, yeah.
Where'd you put Giannis?
Giannis 4.
And where'd you put Giannis, Angel?
3.
Okay. I put him at 2. So 2, 3, 4. Okay. I mean, our lists
Oh.
are pretty similar, like in general, barring a few players, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's either. I think most of them are same except for like the few that like each one of us did have that guy that no one else did, or
right.
one that like both people did, but someone else didn't.
Mhm.
And then of course the actual rankings of it too. I think that's where it was the most different. I feel like it was very few in between where we had the exact same ranking.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely was. Because we also, like, you got to think about it. We also based our list on completely different things, you
Yeah,
know?
true.
Yeah.
Like Vaughn said, he based his on the upcoming season, how the players will do. or how he thinks the players will do in the upcoming season. I did my list basically just on whose bag is deeper. And then what'd you base yours on, Angel?
Nothing. I was just kind of winging that shit, bro. I'll be honest. I was
Bro,
winging
just
the
doing
hell
it
out of
based
it.
on names, bro. Like,
I was just winging it. I started from 1. Like I did it completely backwards. I started at 1 because I knew my top 5 for sure.
yeah.
And then that's when I started to struggle a little bit. That's why like my Embiid bias got in there because I was kind of winging it, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
it
if
was
I
like
asked,
my top 10 was like I just had to name the best players and I just had to order them in, which way I
Yeah.
wanted. And then everyone after that was just like, what am I going to do?
yeah, that makes sense.
Wait, where did we all put John Morant in the overall ranking? Not just top 5.
I put John
14.
17.
Would you have Eugene?
14.
14. I have 14 too. Which is just a great respect to Ja, considering he missed basically the whole season last year. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I know this is more of a player episode, but like, where do we think the Grizzlies are going this year?
Bro, it's hard to look at
There's
the Grizzlies last season and then
Yeah.
still and not think they're gonna struggle, bro. Like,
Well, like so many injuries, be it Marcus Smart, Jaren Jackson Jr., all the role players. They basically had G League players out there playing for a lot of it.
Mhm.
So it's not really the Memphis Grizzlies. It's whoever their G League affiliate is basically what we were watching the whole time. But I think a lot of this that went into my ranking for Ja was we just saw like a glimpse of him last year, and they were on a
Mhm.
winning streak. And now we just got a full season of Ja back, hopefully, like no injuries. But I think people forget he's like really that guy.
oh
But
no, the
we
jaw
we didn't.
disrespect.
We didn't.
The jaw disrespect was crazy, bro. Like, I can't wait for him to come back because like the Grizzlies were looking like a conference finals like contender, like might sneak into the finals eventually kind of team. And that whole thing went down and he got injured again. Like, which seems so long ago, the whole gun thing, bro. It feels like a distant memory.
No, for real.
No, like actually though.
Thank God that one guy on
Yeah,
on LSU team is here now, bro. Because now he can be the hated athlete of the year. All right,
right.
yeah, and then
I was just gonna say, I just at least hope they shake up the West a little bit. You know what I mean? Just
yeah,
provide a little bit of a different picture than last year.
Yeah, like I was really worried for them because I'm like looking at last year's playoffs in the West, like whose spot are they taking? And now that Paul George is out of the Clippers, Kawhi is hurt or recovering from surgery, I'm like they're probably taking the Clippers slot. It's got to be them.
Either the Clippers or the Pelicans.
Right.
Possibly, but
If
like
not anything better, like at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm
they were
saying, that's
what?
what I'm saying. Like 8 to 4, they could have been any of those teams.
Like when they made playoffs last time, they were what 3 seed? Like they were pretty high. At least got to be a playoff lock.
I do want to say something about the Luka thing, bro. I do have him at as my number 3, I'm pretty sure. Or either 2 or 2. I have him at 2, but I honestly think, bro, if he didn't get MVP last year, I honestly don't see what he can do to win it this year, bro. Like, I feel like it's kind of insane that he didn't win it this last year. I feel like SGA for me, like you guys are saying, Luka just edges him out. I think SGA for me is the one who edges him out, bro. Honestly, it's like,
I think Luka could do exactly what he did last year, and he would still win MVP this year because the perception has changed. Now he's made a finals.
Oh,
Now
yes, that's
people
fair.
are recognizing it. whereas SGA probably just as great as last year, if not better. Doesn't have that perception quite yet. You know, the perception of the Thunder is still, oh, they're a young team, they have a bright future, whereas Luka is here and now. You know,
That is very fair. Yeah, I feel like if Thunder put up, I mean, they did a really good job against the Mavs, but if I don't remember, definitely didn't go to 7, but if it did go to 7, I feel like SGA would probably still have a pretty good chance. We'll see.
he'd have a stronger case for sure.
We'll see what
this
happens.
MVP race, yeah, I'm excited. I won't lie.
For real, because who's gonna bro? I feel like no one expected it to be Jokic, SGA, and Luka, bro. So who's it gonna be this year?
Bro, I mean, maybe we might see an Ant, bro. With Cat out of there now, we might see an Ant in there.
True, especially because he's gonna be he has no choice but to carry them now, bro. It's gonna look rough in Minnesota.
It's crazy. We're talking about Ant. He'd be like the only American out there fighting for an MVP if that's the case. You know, SGA Canadian, we got Serbian. Where's Luka from again? Oh, Slovenia. Giannis, Greece, Joel Embiid, Cameroon.
No, Joel Embiid is an American, Vaughn.
Okay. But it's wild that the NBA shifted this way. I mean, we've talked about it before, but listing out our best players now is just put it into a perspective that really just hit right now.
Right. Like most of our top 10, probably more than half of our top 10 is foreign.
No, it really, your dead ass is mostly foreign players. All right.
And then outside of that, we can call it. You can call it.
All right. So that is our top 25. It's replacing our starting 5 that we do every year. I feel like most of the time we look at others and critique it. But this year we wanted to make our own. That way we have, something. This is the start officially of our preseason, basically. After this, it's mostly looking forward, no more looking back or, nothing topical. So that means next week is the 3rd annual Spin the Rock wheel spin for our favorite team. I'm looking forward to this. It's always my favorite episode, especially because last year, I think we all got pretty lucky, except for I don't want to talk about it. But the year before that, it caught us completely off guard. Everyone who we thought got a good team got a bad team, and everyone who thought got a bad team got a good team. So we really have no idea what the wheel spin is going to give us this year. So make sure you tune in for that next week. If you're looking for us on that audio format, we're on all podcast platforms. So make sure you give us a good old 5 stars, leave a review. If you're looking for the video format, we are on YouTube. So make sure you like and subscribe over there. Let us know who is your top 25. Let us know, how awfully or amazingly we did. And then, of course, we're on social media at Spin the Rock. So make sure you follow us there for clips, episode updates, and all that good stuff. The 2025 season of the Roulette next week. You don't want to miss it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again.